So first we'll talk about what is we'll talk about what is interpreter. Okay. Okay, what is interpreter? Okay. So interpreter is a translator. Okay, I'm writing like this. Interpreter is a translator which translates instructions, translate and execute instructions, translate and execute instructions line by line. Okay, interpreter is a translator which translate and execute instructions line by line. Okay, interpreter is a translator which translate and execute instructions line by line. Which translate and execute instructions line by line. Yes, are getting or not? Yes, everyone. Interpreter translate and execute instructions line by line. For example, for example, okay, there is one program. Okay, the program what you write in high level language, the program what you write in high level language is called a source program. The program what you write in high level language is called a source program. Now sometimes they ask you, right, give me your source code. Give me your source code means which program you'll give the program what you write. Okay. Now tell me who understand the source program? Yeah, just answer this. Who understand the source program? Yeah, what is source program? Who understand the source program? Okay. Yes, Srikant, very good. Who understand the source program? Developer. Okay. Who understand the source program? Developer or programmer, right? See, Java programmer understand Java language. Python programmer understand Python language. C programmer understand C language. Okay. So who understand the high level language code? The person who knows that language, right? The person who knows that language, he can understand that program. So you should understand what is a source program. Sorry, what is a source program? Okay, what is, I'm writing here, what is source program? What is source program? A program written in a program written in a, written in a high level programming language. A program written in high level programming language is called which program? Source program. And this program is understood by, okay, this program is understood by programmer or developer. Okay, this program is understood by, this program is understood by, okay, programmer or what? Developer. Okay. Now, who understand the Python? Python is which language? Tell me, is it high level or low level? Tell me, your Python is which language? Is it high level or low level? Python is high level or low level? High level. Very good. Python is a high level language, and all high level languages are English like or not? Yes. Okay, all high level languages are English like. Then who understand the Python program? Tell me, who understand the Python program? Python developer, very good. Python developer. Who understand the Python program? Python developer. Okay, but cannot understand by computer. Then what you require now? Tell me, what you require now? What you required? You require translator or not? Yes, very good. What you required is a translator. Okay, so that can be either compiler, that can be either compiler, or that can be either what? Interpreter. Okay, but where interpreter, what it is doing? It is trying to translate. How it will translate? Line by line. Interpreter translates line by line, right? Okay. Then, so translators for each high level language, will you have one translator or not? Yes, tell me. Is it for each language you'll have one translator or not? Yes or no? For each language, will you have one translator or not? Yes. Okay. C language have C translator. Okay. Java language will have Java translator. Okay. Each language is having its own translator, right? Okay, which translate the instructions written in one language to another, right? Okay, suppose now this is a program written in which language now? Python. Then I required which translator now? Then I required which translator? Python translator or not? Yes. I required which translator? Python translator. Because this is written in which language? Python language. If I write a program in C language, then I required which translator? C translator. Okay? Yes. So for each language, you'll have one translator. So that can be either interpreter or what? Compiler. Right? Now, suppose suppose if this program is given to if this program is given to what? Interpreter. If this program is given to the interpreter, what it will do it? Okay, it will translate what interpreter is doing. So what interpreter will do is it will translate execute. Say somebody is saying executes line by line. Okay, so what it will do is generally I'll try to put in this case what interpreter will do is first it will read instructions in simple way. I'm writing it read the instructions. Okay, it will read the instructions. Okay, it will read instruction, and then after reading instruction, what will it do? Verify. Verify what here? Syntax. Okay, verify the syntax. After reading instruction, what will it do? Verify the syntax. What is the syntax? Tell me, what is the syntax? Syntax. What is the meaning of syntax? Tell me, what is the meaning of syntax? What is the meaning of syntax? Formula, semicolons, no, rules, right? A syntax is nothing but a set of rules and regulations. Okay, syntax is some set of rules and regulations which has to be followed at the time of writing what? Program. Okay, so that is nothing but arrangement of instructions. Even arrangement of instructions can be called as what? Arrangement of words or an arrangement of instructions, that you can call it as which one? Syntax. If you don't follow the syntax, who gives the error? Tell me, if you don't follow the syntax, who gives the error? If you don't follow the syntax, who gives the error? Who is checking the syntax? Tell me, who is checking the syntax? Is it checking the syntax by the translator or not? Is the syntax is checked by the translator or not? Yes. The syntax is checked by what? Translator. So the translator can be Interpreter or what? Compiler. Will a translator translate without verifying the syntax? No. Yes. Well, now a translator cannot translate it without verifying what? Syntax. The syntax has to be verified first or not? Yes. If there is a syntax error, then what will it do? What will it do? Is it interpreter translate it or stop translating it? If there is a syntax error, is it interpreter stop translating or translate it? Stop translating it, right? Stop translating it. Okay. So third one, verify the syntax. If there is no syntax error, then what will it do? What will it do? It will translate. What will it do? It will translate, and after translating, immediately it will what? Execute it. Now, what it is doing? It is trying to do four operations here. What it is doing? First, it will read each time one line, and after reading each time one line, it will verify the syntax. If there is no syntax error, then what it is doing? It is trying to translate. It is trying to translate, and then what? Execute. Then it's trying to translate, and then what? Execute. Now, this is done by which one? Interpreter. Okay. Then there is one more translator. There is one more translator. And what is that another translator here? Compiler. Okay. There is one more translator called which one? Compiler. Okay. Then, yeah. Are you written this code? Are you written this one? Are you understood this one? Are you understood or not? Everyone? Yes. Okay, right? Okay. The next one is there is one more translator you have. There is one more translator, and that translator. Okay, there is one more translator. That translator is what? Compiler. Okay. Then compiler. What compiler? Compiler is also translator. Compiler is a translator. Okay, translator which translates which translate which translates instructions, which translates again instructions written in one language to one language to what? Another language, right? One language to another language, right? So that is compiler. But what compiler is doing? Okay, now some people say that compiler translates the whole program. Okay, compiler translates the whole program and then start executing it. Okay, so what the job of compiler here is, suppose this is a program which is written in high level language. Okay, so the program which is written in high level language, that you can call it as which one? Source program. And if I give this source program to the translator called compiler, okay, so what compiler will do it? So this is the compiler. Okay, this is a compiler. This is a compiler. When this source program is given to the compiler, what compiler is doing? Okay, so compiler do these things. Okay, the first one is read. First one is read the instruction, and after reading, what it is doing? Verify what? Syntax. Verify the syntax. Okay, and after verifying the syntax, then what it is doing? It is trying to translate. What it is doing? It will try to translate. Okay, translate. After translating, what will it do? What will it do now? Tell me. After translating, will it execute? Now tell me, after translating, will it execute? Yes, all of you. After translating, will it execute? After translating, will it execute? Compiler, what it is doing? Reading it and verifying the syntax and translate. After translate, will it execute? Will it execute? Yes or no? Most of some of them they are saying yes, and some of them they are saying what? No. Okay. So after translating, what it will do? It will store it. After translating, what will it do? Store it. Means it will translate the whole program and store the translated code so that I can execute later. I can execute what? Later, right? So it will translate, means first it will translate all the program. It will translate whole program and then store it in one intermediate file. It will store in one intermediate file so that that code I can execute it either one time or more than one time. Okay. So after storing, then next is what? Execution phase. After compilation, then next phase is what here? Execution. Okay, so execution, so it means after translating the whole program, then it start what? Executing it. Okay, so which one is more efficient? Now each one is having his own features, right? Okay, now interpreter is more efficient if it is having less code, and compiler is more efficient when you have more code, I mean lengthy of code. So each one is having his own features. Okay, now this is where you find the difference between interpreter and what? Compiler. Okay, this is where you find the difference between interpreter and what? Compiler. Okay, yes, just write down this. So compiler translate the whole program and then execute. Compiler translate whole program and execute. After translating the whole program, then it start executing it. After translating each, after translating whole program, then it start executing it. Okay, right? Yes, yes, very good. The intermediate file can be .exe or any other file, right? Okay. Screen is not visible. Yes, all of you, is it screen is visible or not? Okay. So screen is clear or not? Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, then see here. Now this is where you find the difference between interpreter and what? Compiler. Then Python is what now? Python is what? Python is which language? You are saying Python is an interpreted language. Okay, you are saying Python is what? Interpreted language. Interpreted language. But actually, most of the people they'll say that Python is interpreted language, but Python is both interpreted and compiled. Python is both. It is interpreted and what? Compiled. Yes. Python is both interpreted as what as well as what? Compiled. So why Python is using both? That is to achieve platform independency. That is to achieve what? Platform independency. Okay. So Python, now I'm just talking about this Python translation. Okay. But people says that Python is which language? Interpreted language. But Python uses two translators. One is interpreter as well as what? Compiler. It uses both interpreter as well as what? compiler. Yes, interpreter doesn't store the translated code, right? But compiler is having facility to store it so that he can execute it later. That storing can be either temporary or that can be what? Permanent, right? Okay, then see the translation of Python program. Okay, so I'm saying that Python is interpreted as well as what? Compiled. Yes, for example, yes, see here, suppose assume that this is my Python program. Okay, I've written Python program here. Yes, I've written Python program. Okay, this is a Python program, and this Python program, okay, cannot understand by the system, right? Now this Python program, first it is given to the Python compiler. It is given to the Python compiler. It is given to the Python compiler. Yes, I'm saying that it is given to the Python compiler. But what Python compiler is doing? This Python compiler is not generate. Python compiler will not generate any machine code, but Python compiler generates, now here, same architecture which is used by Java language. It will generate which one? Bytecode. It will generate. Now Python compiler generates which code? Bytecode. Python compiler generates which code? Bytecode. Bytecode. And this bytecode is given to, now this bytecode is given to, okay, Python interpreter. And that is nothing but what here? PVM, which is called as Python virtual machine. This is called as which one? Python virtual. This is called as Python virtual machine. And this Python virtual machine, what it is doing it? This Python virtual machine, it translate this bytecode to the executable machine code. Okay, this will translate to executable machine code. I mean, it generates the machine code respective to the hardware. Executable machine code. And this executable machine code is given to which one? Machine. And your machine execute this code. Now your machine execute this code. Okay, this is my machine, right? This is my machine. Okay. Okay, this is my machine, right? Now I'll try to explain you all this, right? So Python is having two translators. Python is having two translators. Python is having two translators. Okay, one is a compiler, is having two translators. One is a compiler and one more is interpreter, which is a part of PVM, which is a part of PVM. Okay. Yes, it means Python is having two. One is a compiler and one more is what? Python is compiled as well as what? Interpreted. Python is compiled as well as what? Interpreted. So what this is, yes, can't we interpret directly, sir, in Python? Yes. So this is what will happen. What will happen here is, because Python is a platform independent, right? Python is what here, platform independent. Okay. So it means when you give the Python code, when you run the Python code, you might think that okay, it is executing directly, but what it is doing internally is it is trying to it is trying to it is trying to generate which one bytecode, and that bytecode is given to which one, PVM, that is Python virtual machine. What is exactly this? I'll try to explain you. Yes, but Python code is interpreted as well as what, compiled. Okay, it is interpreted as well as what, compiled. Now you can interpret, you can directly interpret and execute the Python code. Okay, see here. So the question is what is PVM? The question is what is PVM? The question is what is PVM? So PVM, which is nothing but Python virtual machine. PVM stands for PVM stands for Python virtual machine. PVM stands for Python virtual machine, is a platform. It is a platform. Yes, it is a platform. It is a platform provided by Python, provided by Python. It is a platform provided by Python. PVM provide PVM provide runtime environment, runtime environment for which applications? Python applications. Okay, Python applications or Python programs. What is the meaning of runtime environment? So for every Python program, suppose to execute a program, it requires some environment. Like suppose when I run the program, my program should see when I run the program, where my program will be in the hard disk, right? My program will be there in the hard disk. Now somebody should load my program from hard disk to what? RAM. Somebody should load my program from hard disk to what? RAM. Because a program is never executed from what? Hard disk. Now somebody has to be loaded my program from hard disk to what? RAM. Then who's loading a Python program from hard disk to the RAM? Now that is done by which one? PVM. So generally, if you are working with a C language, this is done by OS. But when you are working with a Python, this runtime environment is not provided by OS. This runtime environment is provided by what? PVM. So that is a Python virtual machine. Okay, so it will now Python virtual machine not only loading the program, after loading the program, what it is doing, it is trying to perform certain things like memory management, IO management, device management, and all these operations are done by which one? PVM. Okay, so Python virtual machine which provide runtime environment for Python applications or what? Programs. Okay, so whenever you compile the Python program, the Python compiler generates which code? Bytecode. And this bytecode is translated by PVM, which is having interpreter, and that translate this bytecode to the executable machine code, and that code is executed by what? Machine. Okay, so it is having two translators, one is compiler and one more is what? Interpreter. Okay, so Python compiler translate. Yes, Python compiler translates. Now you can generate. Okay, Python, what is bytecode here? The next question is what is bytecode? So here bytecode is compiled code of Python source program. Bytecode is compiled code of Python source program, that you can call it as which one? Bytecode. Compiled code of Python source program, that you can call it as what? Bytecode. So the bytecode is, okay, bytecode is, okay, generally you'll say is a platform. Bytecode is a platform independent. It is a platform independent code. Now this code can be moved. This code can be moved to any operating system. This code can be moved to any operating system which is having what? PVM. This code can be moved to any operating system which is having PVM. So bytecode is not a executable code. Bytecode is not executable code. It is a code which understand by, it is a code, it is a code which understand by, it is a code which understand by who understand this? PVM. Okay, who understand this here? PVM. PVM, that is called Python virtual machine, right? It is a code which understand by PVM. And PVM, okay, PVM is a platform, okay, platform dependent program. So PVM depends on OS, right? So this PVM, yes, just try to write this one. So PVM, so PVM provide runtime environment, and PVM translates this bytecode into executable machine code and execute it. So PVM translate this bytecode into executable machine code and execute. Okay, what is the meaning of this? I'll tell you with the example. What is the meaning of this? I'll tell you with the example. Okay, have you written this? Yeah, it is a PVM is environment, or it is a platform which provide the execution environment for the Python programs, right? So even we'll see this practically, but just try to understand this one, how it will work here. Okay, suppose. Okay, for example, I write a Python program. Yes, I write a Python program. Now this is my Python program. Okay, assume that this is my Python program. This is my Python program, right? So generally, every Python program will have the extension .py, right? Like C program will have the extension .c, that is to recognize, right? So the Python program will have the extension .py. Okay. So this is my Python program, and this Python program is given to the compiler. So this Python program is given to what here? Compiler. Now this is my Python compiler. Okay. Python compiler. So what Python compiler is doing it? Yes. So Python compiler is generating which code here? Bytecode. It is generating bytecode. So you can generate one intermediate file. Okay, so it will generate one intermediate file. And what is that intermediate file here is? Okay, you can call this as P1 by dot P by C. Now P by C, this indicates that it is compiled code. This P by C is called as which code here? Compiled code. And what this code contain here? Byte code. Now, is it this byte code can be executed? Yes, tell me. Is it byte code is a executable code? Yes or no? Yes, everyone. Is it byte code is an executable code or non-executable code? Tell me, is it byte code is executable code or non-executable code? Non-executable code, right? Then somebody should convert this byte code to what? Executable code of an executable machine, right? Then who is doing this conversion? For every executable, yes, very good. For every executable machine, okay, Python provide a PVM. Okay, for every executable machine, Python provide what? A PVM. Suppose you want to run the Python program in your mobile, then you require a PVM for what? That mobile operating system. Okay, then suppose assume that this is my executable machine. Okay, this is my executable machine. What is my executable machine here? This is my machine which is having an operating system called what? Okay, which is having an operating system called which one? Windows. Okay, which is having an operating system called Windows, right? And this is another executable machine, and this is having an operating system called which one? Okay, this is having an operating system called which one? Linux. Okay, this is having an operating system called Linux. Okay, now there is another executable machine. There is another executable machine, and this executable machine is having an operating system called Mac. Now there are different operating systems here. Okay, one is Windows, second one is Linux, and third one is what? Mac OS. Right, now these are different operating systems. Now to execute this on different executable machines, now what Python is provided, it is provided which one? PVM. Okay, you find a PVM for which operating system? Windows. Okay, you find a PVM for which operating system? Linux. Okay, you find a, okay, you find a PVM. Okay, you find a PVM for which operating system? Mac. Okay, now this is PVM for which operating system here? Mac. Okay, now when I move this byte code, now I just move this byte code. Okay, I just move this byte code to the PVM for Windows. Okay, then the PVM for Windows will convert this byte code to the executable machine code. Okay, means it will generate the byte code, it will generate the binary code or machine code or binary code respective to, it will generate binary code respective to which operating system? Windows. Okay, because this internal data representation might be various from one operating system to what? Another. Okay, it will generate binary code respective to which operating system? Linux. Now that is done by which one? PVM. Okay, so this data representation might be various from one machine to what? Another, or from one OS to what? Another. So it will generate binary code respective to which operating system? Linux operating system. Okay, Linux operating system. Okay, then how many times you are translating this code? Only one time, and can be executed on any machine. Okay, now this is a PVM for Mac. Now what this will do, it will generate the binary code, it will generate binary code respective to, okay, respective to, okay, respective to which operating system? Mac. Now this might be various from one OS to what? Another OS, right? So it means this is where you'll say Python is what? Python is what? Python is a platform. Python is what? Platform independent. So Python program doesn't depends on, it means Python compiled code doesn't depends on one operating system. Python compiled code can be executed on what? Any operating system provided by what? Python. Okay, so Python is platform independent. Python is platform independent. When you're saying this code, Python compiled code, Python compiled code can be can be moved to any OS and what execute. Okay, provided what PVM, that is called as Python virtual machine. Provided PVM, that is called Python virtual machine, right? Okay, so this is Python. Yes. Yes, are you getting or not? Yes, are you getting or not? Yes, all of you. Yes. Suppose if I give the compiled code of Python program, then what your system should have is only PVM. Now, Python people provide a number of PVMs, right? Okay. Yes. Are you written this one? Yes. Yes. Is it? This is over, right? Yeah. What is this? Now this is nothing but okay. Now this is py1.pyc is a file, right? What this file is compiled compiled code of uh, of Python source program. Okay, now this is a compiled program of Python program. When you compile the Python program, you are getting which file? .pyc file. And what this pyc file contain? Bytecode. See, I develop one game, right? Suppose I develop one game in Python. I compile that game. After compiling that game, I'll get which one? .pyc file. Okay. Then to execute that bytecode, yes, to execute that bytecode, yeah. When I compile the program, I get .pyc file. I don't get .exe file, right? I'll get .pyc file, and this .pyc file is having which code? Bytecode. And suppose I've given that game to you, okay, and your system is having an operating system called Windows. Then if you want to execute that game in your Windows operating system, what you require here? PVM. Okay. In the same way, if you want to execute that game in Linux, what you require? PVM. In order to execute the same game in Mac, what you require again? PVM. That is Python virtual machine. Now this comes with the Python software. This comes with what? Python software. Okay. So for every operating system, you find one PVM, right? Okay. So this is what you call it as cross-platform. Python is a cross-platform, means Python programs can be run on any operating system. Okay, you write on one operating system and it can be executed on what any other operating system, because the Python programs doesn't depends on operating system, but Python programs depends on its own platform called which one, PVM, that is called a Python virtual machine. Okay, then next we'll talk about another feature, right? So I think this one you understood. So there is an interpreter and compiler. There is one more translator is there. What is the translator here? Assembler. But actually assembler is used for which language? Assembly language. Suppose your processor is there. Processor understand which language? Assembly language. And processor uses assembler to translate this assembly language to what? Machine language, right? So assembler is a translator which is used to translate assembly language instructions into what? Machine language. Okay, right. Okay, so this is a fifth feature, that is interpreted language. But I'm saying no, Python is interpreted as well as what? Compiled. So Python compile and translate the Python program from uh, source program, translate into which code? Bytecode. Now just try to answer some questions which I'm asking here. First question is what is, now tell me, these answers, just try to answer it. What is source program? Now tell me, what is source program? Yes, all of you. You need to tell these answers, right? What is source program? What is source program? Yes, yes. What is source program? Written in high level language. Okay. So if you write a program in Python, if you write a program in Python, is it that program is called the source program? If you write a program in Python, is it that program is called source program? Yes or no? Okay. Who understand the source program? Who understand the source program? Developer. Developer. Okay. Is it computer understand source program? Is it computer understand source program? No. Okay. Computer cannot understand what? Source program. Right? Okay. Then next question is uh, what is what is what is bytecode? Next question is what is bytecode? Tell me, what is bytecode? Yeah, next question is what is bytecode? Yes, yes. Compiled code of Python program is called as which one? Bytecode. Compiled code of Python program is called bytecode, right? Yes, compiled code of source program is called bytecode. Is it bytecode is a operating system dependent code or independent code? Is it bytecode is a operating system dependent code or independent code? Yes, yes. Independent code. Independent code. Very good. Very good. I think you understood. Okay. Then what is PVM? Now tell me, what is PVM? What is PVM? Yes, very good. PVM. PVM stands for what? Python virtual machine. What is Python virtual machine? What is the role of Python virtual machine? Tell me, what is the role of Python virtual machine? What is the role of Python virtual machine? Yes. So Python virtual machine translate which code? Python virtual machine translate which code? Bytecode to the executable machine code and execute. Okay. Bytecode to the executable machine code and execute it or not? Yes. Okay. So that is what PVM, that is Python virtual machine, right? Okay. Very good. Right. So I think you understood this. Python is how Python programs are translated and executed. This is how you'll say Python is a uh, platform. Python is what? Platform independent. Okay. Yes. Very good. Okay. Then next feature we'll see one more feature, and that is Python is extensible language. Python is what? Extensible language. Yeah, is it this last one is clear? Because as a Python developer, you should know the flavor. Means you should know what is the advantage, right? Why people are using Python. Okay, you should know each and every feature of Python. Okay, then only you can enjoy working with the language. So without knowing the feature, if you start writing programs, right? So it is just like writing a program without knowing why you are using it. What is the advantage of it? Right? Okay, that's the reason you should know each and every point, and you should know each and everything related with what? Python. That is very important. So Python is extensible language. Now, what is the meaning of extensible language? Python is extensible language. Okay, yes, just write about this. What is the meaning of extensible? So here I'm writing Python is extensible language. Okay, which means that we can write which means that we can write some of our code in other languages, some of our code in other languages, some of our code in other languages, and include in Python. This is what you mean by extensible. Python is extensible language, which means that we can write some of our code in other languages and include in what? Python. Okay, it means so Python program. Now we can extend, you can say we can extend functionality of, we can extend the functionality of Python program by adding the features or functionality of other programming languages. We can extend functionality of Python program by adding the features of other programming languages. By adding the features of other programming languages. Okay. Okay, right now, what is the meaning of this is I can include, right? I can include the features of here. We can extend the functionality of Python program by adding the or features or functionality of other programming languages. What is the meaning of this is, okay, what is the meaning of this is, for example, now you have some of the functions written in which language? C language. Okay. Now you have written some functions already exist in what? C language. Some functions already written in which language? C language. Sorry. Okay, there are some functions written in C language. Now we'll try to see this practically also. Now there are some functions written in what? C++ language. Okay, there are some functions written in C++ language. Okay, there is a C language and C++. Now can I include the functions of C++ in Python, right? So it means now this is Python language. Now within Python language, I'm trying to include the functionality of C language. I'm trying to include the functionality of what? C++ language. It means I'm extending the functionality of Python programs by adding the features of C and what? C++. That you can call it as what? Extensible. That you can call it as what here? Extensible. Okay. So you are trying to include, the code of other programming languages into what? Python. Now that you can call it as extensible, right? Yes, just write down this. Yes. Right. Now this is what do you mean by extensible? Okay. This is what you mean by extensible. And not only that, Python is not only extensible language, it is also embeddable language. So it is not only extensible, it is what? Embeddable. So Python is embeddable language, or embedded language, or embeddable language. So Python code is embedded with, okay, Python code is embedded with other programming languages. Other programming languages. So it means Python code. Now what I mean to say is Python code is included. Python code is included in other programming languages. That is what I mean by embedded. Python code can be included in other programming languages. That is called as embedded. So this had the scripting functionality. Okay, this feature add scripting. Okay, scripting functionality to other programming languages. Scripting functionality to other programming languages. Now I can use, suppose I want to use a Python code in Java language. So I can use the Python code in Java language. I want to use a Python code in, suppose I want to use a Python code in C language. Suppose I want to use a Python code in, .NET language. Okay. Now can I use a Python code in Java language? Yes, I can use a Python code in Java language. For that, there is one software called Jython. Okay. So with the help of Jython, what I can do is I can include Python code in what? Java program. Then Jython provide a Java compiler. and Java compiler that will generate which code? Bytecode related with Java, right? So that is executed by JVM. We'll talk about that Python implementations, okay? But Python is both extensible as well as what? Embeddable. It is extensible as well as what? Embeddable. Means I can use a Python features into other languages. I can use other language features into what? Python. Okay, I can use Python features into other languages, and I can use even other language features into what? Python. Now it is both vice versa, extensible as well as what? Embeddable. Okay, so I can write some of the code in Python and I can include in what? Java. Okay, I can include in what? .NET. Now for that I required a separate translators. Even that is provided by which one? Python. We'll talk about those translators which are called as implementations. We'll see that. Okay. Yes. Yes. All of you, you understood this difference between extensible and what? Embeddable. Yes. Is it this both are same or different? Tell me. Everyone. Is it this both are same or different? Is it this both are same or different? Is it this both are same or different? Different, right? This both are not same. This both are what here? Different. Okay. So embeddable means using Python code in other languages, that you call it as what? Embeddable. And using other language code in Python is called what? Extensible. Okay. So that is a difference between embeddable and what? Extensible. Okay. Right. Now next Python feature we'll try to see, that is, it is dynamic. Python is what here? Dynamically typed language. Okay. Python is dynamically typed language. So what is the meaning of dynamically typed language? Okay. So when you're talking about dynamic, there are so many things related with dynamic in programming language. Okay. So one thing, if you take, so one thing when you talk about dynamically typed language, okay, one thing I can tell you about this dynamic for your understanding. Okay, dynamic means runtime. In computer terminology, in computers, in computers terminology, or in computers, dynamic is, what is the dynamic here? Runtime. Dynamic means what? Runtime. Okay, static means compile time. Dynamic means runtime. So in dynamically typed languages, okay, in dynamically typed languages, okay, in dynamically typed languages, okay, the type of, suppose I'm taking one example, the type of variable, the type of variable is declared, is declared, is declared at runtime based on the value, what? Assigned. Okay, one thing I'm telling you, in dynamically typed languages, the type of variable is defined or declared at runtime based on the value assigned. For example, if you are working with programming languages like C, right? If you are working with programming languages like C, I think if you know already C, just try to understand this. Okay, now this is my C program, right? But just try to understand, a variable is nothing but a named memory location. If you want to store a value into a memory, if you want to store a value into a memory, you need to allocate. If you want to store value into memory, your program should allocate memory, right? And your program allocates memory by creating variables, right? Okay, so here you will try to use a data type. For example, In C language, you find the data type called what? Int. Okay, what is int here? Data type. Okay, when I'm saying int A, okay, int is a data type, int is a data type, and A is what here? Variable. So what will happen? Now your C program, now your C compiler, see, your C compiler, see, whenever I want to create a variable, I need to create variable with what? Type. Whenever I want to create a variable, I need to create a variable with the type. Why? Because your C compiler reserves memory for which variable? A. Okay, it means we need to define the type before compiling it. We need to define the type before compiling it. But when you are working with the programming languages like dynamically typed programming languages like Python, now program 1.py, okay, program 1.py. Now this is my Python program. Okay, this is my Python program, and within this program, okay, within this program, what I'm doing it, I'm trying to say, I'm trying to say a, I'm trying to say a equal to 10. I just written directly a equal to 10. So a is a variable. Actually, a is a variable. But are you define any type for this variable? Tell me. Are you define any type for this variable? Are you define any type for this variable? Yes or no? Are you define any type for this variable? No. I have not defined any type for this variable. I have not defined any type for this variable. But when you are working with the C language, okay, when you work with the C language, the type should be defined or not. In C language, the type should be defined or not. Yes. What is a yes or no? Is it type should be defined or not? Now type should be defined because is a C is a dynamic language? Tell me, is a C is a dynamic language? Is it dynamically typed language or statically typed language? It is not dynamically typed language. It is what? Statically typed language. It is not dynamically typed language. Because of that, I need to define the type. I need to define the type before compiling. But here, I don't require to define the type before compiling. The type is taken dynamically, means during runtime based on the value. It means as a C++ programmers, I need to think about types. But as a Python developer, you don't require to think about what? Types. Now, dynamically typed languages are more flexible compared to which one? Statically typed language. Suppose I said a equal to 10, then a is holding integer. Okay, a is holding what here? Integer. When I change it, suppose when I say a equal to 1.5, now a is changed from integer to what? Float. But in this case, if I say a is integer, always a is which type? Integer only. Always a is which type? Integer only. I cannot change a from integer to what? Float. But here a can hold integer, a can hold what? Float. It means the type changed dynamically based on the value you assign it. Now it is more flexible, and almost all the scripting languages are dynamically typed languages. All scripting languages are dynamically typed languages. Okay. Now this is what we mean by dynamic. This is what we mean by dynamic, right? Okay. Then next one is, yeah, I think you understood this dynamic. Just try to write with the example. This is a comparison between the C program and what? Python program. No, so there is a JavaScript. JavaScript is also, yes. JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. All the scripting languages are dynamically typed language. Suppose if you are working with the JavaScript, yes, how you create a variable, you just say variable X. See here, how you create a variable in JavaScript, you'll just say var X. But are you saying any type? Yes, Alok Kumar, right? Are you defining any type here? No, no. Okay, you're not defining type. You're just saying where x. Then after that, if I'm saying x equal to 10, then x will be integer. If I'm saying x equal to 1.5, then x will be what here? Float, like that. Okay. So all dynamically typed languages doesn't require the type for creating what? Variables. Okay. Right. Sir, will you continue the class at the same timing till the completion of Python? Yes, timings will not be changed. Yes, timings will not be changed, and this classes will be continued in the same time. Okay, right? Okay, yes. Now till now we have learned what is the advantage of using a Python language, right? What is the advantage of using Python language? The next one is important, right? Okay. What is the next one is? Yes, I think you understood all these features. Yes, you understood all these features. Yes or no? All of you? Okay. So I think you understood all these features, right? Then next, yeah. Now this sessions can be freshers as well as experienced. Why? Because I'm saying no. I'll try to tell you each and everything in detail. So it is useful for freshers as well as experienced people. Okay. So if you want, you can put some 2 years experience, 2+ years experience. Okay. Because that much knowledge I'll try to give you. Right. Okay. Then next one is, yes, this is where uh, applications. Now, next what I'm talking about is applications of Python, right? Applications of Python. Now, see, I'm learning Python. I'm learning Python, right? Then what next? What kind of things I can do it using Python? Yes, I'm learning Python, right? So why you suppose if anybody asks you why you are learning Python, you cannot say that it is more demanded language because of that I'm learning Python, right? Yes or no? You cannot say that it is a more demanded language because of that I'm learning. No, no. Then you should know. You should know a career building path using Python, right? So what kind of technologies I should learn if I want to get the job in Python? So as a fresher, only Python is enough. But with the Python, if you learn other technologies, with the Python, just try to learn other technologies which is helpful in developing applications in Python. Getting or not? So what kind of things you can do it, or what kind of applications you can develop it using Python? And what is the career path of Python? What are other technologies I should learn after completing this Python or with the Python? Okay. Now this will try to see uh, in tomorrow's class, and tomorrow's class is also very important because we'll try to see uh, applications of Python and career path of Python. Okay. So what kind of technology should learn it to get the job in what? Python. Okay. So I'll try to talk about all those things, but tomorrow we'll see it. I think you understood today's class. All of you, you understood today's class? Yes, everyone, everyone. So we have seen what is Python, and we have seen what is the advantage of using Python, or which you call it as Python features. If you have any doubts, you can ask. If you have any doubts, you can ask, right? Yes, all of you, I think no doubts. Okay, very good. Yes, yes, I'll tell you, I'm working on Tabula, right? Yes, yes, better. Yes, yes. Learn Python. Learn Python. Okay, I'll repeat. Embedded language. I can write a Python code. I can include the Python code in other languages. Okay, suppose I'm writing a Java program. Within the Java program, I want to include some of the code of Python. Can I include it? Yes. That is what you mean by embeddable language. Okay. Yes, this is yeah, this complete thing is online only. Until I complete all the classes, I'll take online only. Yes. Yeah, I'll share the notes. Don't worry about that. Notes, I'll share it. Okay. Yes, yes, very good. Right now, this is very important for the people those who are moving to a data science. Right. Yes, I'll try to complete it. Yes, I'll try to complete. Right. Yes, I said in the beginning all the course content, core and advanced Python both. So I'll try to provide a separate material other than this running notes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I think is it all the your doubts are clear, right? So tomorrow I'll try to tell you. I'll try to provide separate material other than this. How much Python is needed for data science? Complete Python. Okay. Complete Python is required. Complete Python is required for data science. I cannot tell you learn only data structures, right? Data structures, functions, object oriented, everything is important for learning this. Yes, definitely. I'll try to keep test. Yes, yes. I'll try to complete within 50 to yes, 45 to 50 sessions. I'll try to complete. Yes, not days, sessions. Okay, right. Yes. No, once you register, right, those people will send the notes. Shall we have 2 sessions per day? Now that will think about it, right? Yes, tomorrow I'll discuss about that, Jeevan, right? I'll tell you what is the role of Python in machine language and AI. Okay. I'll try to tell you what is AI and what is machine language. Okay. And all these things we'll see tomorrow. That is what I'm telling you applications of Python. Okay. So we'll see in detail on this. What is the role of Python in each and every application, right? Yes. Yes. I think no other, yes, issues, right? Will be the classes from Monday to Friday. Yes, classes are from Monday to Saturday. Okay, we'll have complete four whole week, right? Monday to Saturday. Okay, Saturday also we'll have the class. Saturday भी class होगी. Okay, so Monday to Saturday तक class रहेगा. Okay, so Monday to Saturday. Yes. If course is not completed, I'll try to plan on Sunday also. Okay, because I don't want to skip any topic. I want to tell you each and everything in detail, right? How many students present, sir? Why you do with that here? Huh? Why you record how many students are there in the batch? Okay. Now please plan 2 sessions per day. Okay, we'll see. We'll see that. Okay. If possible, I'll do it. Right? What you do with how many students are there in the batch here? Okay, JP. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll see that here. I mean, I've not planned. Okay, we'll see that. Yes, definitely. Okay. Right. Now we'll see tomorrow with applications of Python. Right. Yes. Thank you. We'll see tomorrow. Right. Thank you very much. Okay. I'll try to provide you. Right. Okay. Thank you.